To New York, we are delighted you've chosen to start your week with us. And what can you say? What a weekend it was. Greeny and RJ and DJ.
Yes.
The entire world. What'd you say to me this morning, Richard, about every newspaper on planet Earth?
If Tiger wins, he will be on every newspaper on the planet, not just the United States. That's impressive.
Pick up a paper, folks, and take a look. Tiger Woods is back and better than ever in the biggest possible way. The familiar sight. Tiger at Augusta National, the most famous golfer in the world on the world's most famous golf course. In the red and the black hat and the black pants and the Nike swoosh. And here he is on the par 4-7. Vintage Tiger Woods. Throw it up there and then pull it back on a string. Molinari, his competitor, was behind a tree. Tiger would tap in for birdie. His iron play spectacular all day. The most famous golf hole in the world is the par 3 12th at Augusta because the tournament always shifts here. Brooks Koepka, rock solid in majors, won 2 of them last year. Nothing could possibly flap the unflappable Koepka. But when you get to 12 and the Tiger roars are in the air, he's in the drink and that would cost him dearly. Tiger's group gets to 12. Francesco Molinari, the reigning British Open champion, as unflappable as it gets, can't make this mistake. Puts that one in the drink. And so up steps Tiger Woods. And Tiger Woods, who has played this course competitively something close to 100 times, knows you don't win the Masters by making 2 on 12. You win it by not making 5. He hits it there every single time because that's where you hit it on this hole. That's what the champions do. That's what Tiger Woods knows. He would make par. Molinari would double. They'd be all square, the two of them tied at the top after 12 holes. Think Molinari wasn't feeling it? Think again. On 15, in the drink. The unflappable Molinari has gone down. And so on 15 green, again, Tiger Woods putting for eagle, but doesn't need to make an eagle. Just needs to lag it up there. He showed great patience when he needed to yesterday. Tapping in for birdie and the outright lead with 3 holes to play. Tiger Woods, with all that we have seen in his life, had the outright lead at the Masters, the par 3 16. Here's the moment. Vern Lundquist almost exploded. And so did the rest of planet Earth. Tiger's staring it down. He knows exactly where to put it. Will it catch the ridge? Of course it will. Will it come down? Of course it will. Will it go in the hole? It almost did. You can't do it any better than that. To borrow a phrase from Vern Lundquist, in your life, have you ever seen anything like that? You know who was watching as the crowd went crazy? You saw who was behind him. Another GOAT was there to see it. Michael Phelps watching Tiger Woods. So Tiger would calmly walk up to 16. This easy tap in essentially for bird. He would par 17. He would take a 2-shot lead to the 18th tee. Now on 18, again, Brooks Koepka with a birdie putt, down 2 shots, can put a little pressure on Tiger Woods. If it isn't Tiger chasing him, maybe Koepka makes that putt. Instead, the 18th becomes a coronation for the most famous golfer that ever walked the face of planet Earth. The familiar pictures, his mom, his kids, the crowd, standing and in eager anticipation. This is for the win for par on 18. He thought he made it, but he didn't need to. He only needed to make the next one. And here it was. After all he has done and all he has been through, the redemption, the comeback, the return, and let the emotions begin. Look at the celebration with his caddy, Joe LaCava. A great moment there. An even better one here, greeting his family. Once upon a time, greeting his father behind that green after his first major championship. And now, father and son. It goes full circle. There's Mom with a hug. And how about the respect from all the players that he inspired to play this game? And then the green jacket for Tiger Woods. A day to remember forever.
To come back here and then to play as well as I did and did all the things, all the little things well this week, and to do it here. This has meant so much to me and my family, this tournament, and to have everyone here. It's something I'll never, ever forget. I had, serious doubts after, what transpired a couple of years ago. I could barely walk. I couldn't sit, couldn't lay down. I really couldn't do much of anything. Luckily, I had the procedure on my back, which gave me a chance at, having a normal life. But then all of a sudden, I realized I could actually swing a golf club again. I felt if I could somehow piece this together, that I still had the hands to do it.
You are a very, very worthy champion, and
We're proud that you're wearing that jacket for the 5th time today.
Yeah, I'm excited about show and tell at school.
If you think Tiger Woods is the same man that he was in the first incarnation of his greatness, you're wrong. And there's a little glimpse of the development of his personality, his 15th career major in historic fashion, the 5th time he completes the Masters with all 4 rounds under par. That is 2 more than any other player in history. By the way, the great Jack Nicklaus did it once. I had the privilege of being in Augusta for a lot of this week and sharing a set with Curtis Strange. And Curtis, it's a delight to see you, and thank you for doing this. And I'll ask it as simply as I can. Let's talk about the game first and foremost. Why did Tiger Woods win this weekend?
Well, I think it's a culmination of the last year and a half, Mike, that he continued to improve. He continued to have the determination, focus, and energy to work on his game, wanted to come back. That was the big question. Did he really want to do that? Only he knows. But he played pretty well last year at times, had a chance to be in contention at 2 majors, and just continued to build on that confidence in that game. And that's really the reason. And he played well.
Felt like experience made a difference yesterday as well. He seemed to know, and we're seeing him here on 12. He knew where not to make the big mistake yesterday, yes?
He played so beautifully coming down the stretch, left of 12 pin, left of 14, in the middle of the green at 15, right at 6. Just played perfect golf coming down the stretch. But you can know what to do. You still have to perform and execute, and he did just that.
So then let's get to the ways in which this was more than just a sporting event. It feels to me like we had 2 separate things going on at once. We had a great player winning a great golf championship, and then we seem to have something even bigger than that going on. How would you describe how this was different than perhaps any other Sunday we've seen at Augusta?
Greeny, it's exactly the way I looked at it right when he won. I couldn't help but think about 2 years ago, laying in bed, not knowing what type of quality of life he would have. It's the personal and the professional. The professional is important. He won the Masters, big event, hell of an accomplishment in his career. But what about the personal? Deep down inside with his family there, his kids saw him win again. I think that's got to be more rewarding than the professional. Both of it, both sides of the coin there are just tremendous stories. I don't root for one or the other. I root for the Storm to get through yesterday, but I can't help but root for the story. And the story was fantastic. As we said 2 days ago, if he wins, he will be on the front page of every newspaper in the world, as you just spoke about a moment ago.
Yeah, and no question. I'd pick up a paper anywhere on planet Earth today. I have a feeling there's a picture of a guy in a red shirt on the front of it. I want to ask you this, as a player yourself, there used to be famously something called the Tiger effect, where when he was in contention, a lot of other players would seem to falter. Then I heard people say, well, now this young generation of golfers who didn't compete against him 20 years ago, that won't be at play. Do you think the Tiger effect was in effect yesterday?
I don't know if it was in effect yesterday, but there is one common denominator, isn't it? They all faltered and he didn't. I think it is a part of what goes forward because they know how he has played and how he played this past week. They know his record. And Tiger is an intimidating fella. He's big and strong. He doesn't say much. He looks at you. Everything he does is quite intimidating. So I don't see how it can't be part of the program and the picture going forward because, they might not think he's intimidating, but he is.
And wins it all yesterday really quick. Bethpage Black is the scene of the next major championship. He's won a major there. Then Pebble Beach. He's won a major there. How many more do we think Tiger Woods can win?
Well, let's all settle down and enjoy this one first. It's certainly on the horizon that there's potential out there. I try not to predict that right now. I want to sit back and enjoy this with him, go over it 4 rounds, talk about how he played, and we'll get to that in the future. But if you do press me, I like Pebble Beach this year. It's a golf course he lapped the field in years ago. He loves it, and he's had great success there.
That'll be the site of the U.S. Open. Curtis, it was a privilege to sit with you for a few days this week. Thank you so much for a terrific time. Thanks for doing this morning.
I hope you picked a good one to come for your first one, didn't you, Mike?
You better believe I did. Thank you, Curtis Strange. It It was our pleasure. And look, across the spectrum of the sports world yesterday, there was reaction. Here's Serena Williams. I'm literally in tears watching Tiger Woods. This is greatness like no other. Knowing all you have been through physically to come back and do what you just did today, wow. Congrats a million times. I am so inspired. Thank you, buddy. Tiger Woods also hearing from two presidents. Former President Barack Obama tweeting, congratulations, Tiger. To come back and win the Masters after all the highs and lows is a testament to the excellence, grit, and determination. President Donald Trump tweeting, congratulations, Tiger Woods, a truly great champion. And Tiger himself on Twitter after his round yesterday. I can't thank my family, friends, and fans enough for their support. Having my family by my side today is something I will never forget. To not only be able to play again, but to be able to win again is something I will forever be grateful for. This jacket sure is comfortable. And as you can imagine, we are just getting started covering an historic weekend for Tiger Woods. A number of guests on the program today, including Mike Tirico later in this hour, and Andy North next hour, and Brad Faxon, and others that we can sprinkle in along the way after what was an unforgettable weekend. Tiger Woods making history at Augusta National. All right, to the NBA playoffs. Richard Jefferson, let me bring you in here. James Harden and the Rockets taking on the Jazz. And let's look at the way they're guarding him. That's Ricky Rubio just taking away his left side, trying to force him into the defense, and this doesn't work.
No, they're trying to make him go for a two-point shot, a contested two, but that sidestep, it's not a step back, it's a sidestep to get that separation.
DJ, they tried again. They still can't stop him.
I don't know. They're going to have to make some decisions here. They're going to have to play him straight up and make him take contested threes or twos or whatever, but you can't give him a line to the basket like this for passes out to his shooters and lobs to Capella.
He finds P.J. Tucker there. Now here comes that lob to Capella. Rockets by 15 at halftime, and they're pulling away. Third quarter now, the lead is 10, and R.J. Harden, watch him here, using the screen and taking it to the hole.
Well, yeah, and then all of a sudden, Rudy Gobert is afraid to step up because of the lob, and it's just now you're in no man's land.
Chris Paul getting into the act. Look at a nice little no-look dish there. Paul finding Kenneth Faried. Harden with a 29 points, 10 assists, and 8 rebounds, and Houston pulls away and wins game one of that best-of-7 first-round series easily. And you know their general manager, Daryl Morey, slept easy last night because his team played like just the way he drew it up. 118 of their 122 points were scored in the paint, on free throws, or on threes. That's 97% of their points. That's the way analytics want you to do it. Now, for the first time in these playoffs, let's run the floor and run through some of the other games. RJ, Blazers hold off a late rally from OKC and win game one. What's your takeaway?
Well, look, Dame Lillard, CJ McCollum, they were impressive, but this is still a story about what you didn't see from OKC. Paul George, 4 for 15 from 3. He just can't do that. He's too good of a player to shoot that way.
I've said many times, to me, Damian Lillard is the most underappreciated superstar in American sports, and he was brilliant in this win yesterday. Let me get to the next game. Damon Jones, the Bucks demolished the Pistons, 121-86. What do we see in Milwaukee?
I'm telling you right now, if Blake Griffin doesn't come back, this series is going to end in three games. It's going to be over in 3 games. And Milwaukee, they was hitting on all cylinders. They was making the three. They was playing good defense. They was getting out in transition. And the Greek Freak was phenomenal.
And then next, RJ, Celtics and knocking off the Pacers 84-74. That was a halftime score. No. That was the final score.
That was the final score.
What happened here?
Yeah, look, Indiana, they played hard. But all of a sudden, you saw Boston lock in. Now, they didn't shoot the ball well. They didn't score well. But they played hard. And that was the thing all year. If Boston plays focused and hard, they're a tough team to beat.
So those were yesterday's games. Every team, every series has now seen one game on both sides of the ledger. We've seen 8 playoff games. So let's just sort of go over what we think were the most important and interesting things that can happen. A storyline that really jumped out Saturday was from the East with the 76ers, both on the floor and off the floor. It was a bit of a disaster, right? That game, they were losing big to the Brooklyn Nets. We saw the incident on the bench with the cell phone. We hear them being booed like crazy in their own building. Let's start with the cell phone. How big a deal should be made of that, RJ?
It's a big deal, but not from a lingering effect. Not will this affect future games. It's a big deal because it's like, guys, this is the playoffs. This is the most focus. This is when there's the most cameras. This is when there's the most conversations. So even if there's a player sick, I understand that. But you had a guy who's not even playing. He's not even suiting up. So Amir Johnson he's just kind of there hanging out. So it's like, what are you doing? And Embiid just looked down, and that was a mistake on his part.
So Embiid said afterward that Amir Johnson told him his daughter was sick. And here's the thing, Amir Johnson is not playing. So you were a player and a coach, DJ. Is the etiquette there, in his case, if he needs to check in on his daughter, get up, leave the bench. He's not playing in the game. Go back somewhere that people don't see you to check the phone. I'm just curious what you think the right way to handle that is.
That would have been the best thing for him to do, to get up and go back in the locker room if those things are going on. Like Richard alluded to, this is it. You know, this is the playoffs. We're trying to win a championship here. We have a lot at stake. Embiid hadn't played as well as he could have to that point, and it just added on, piled on, and that's why you got all the boos and everything going forward.
We'll get to the boos in a minute, but I want to just focus for another moment on Embiid, who we all know, RJ, is as talented as any big man in the sport, but he's not right now, right? He's just clearly not okay.
Yeah, and so I picked the Philadelphia 76ers mainly to win because of Embiid, right? And if he's like, he had 39 and I think 15 the last time he played against the Nets. If he's 22, 12, and 5, which any player in the NBA would take, that's not good enough. If they're going to make an impact on this season, if they're going to make an impact on this postseason, it's really got to be him playing 30-plus type basketball.
I definitely took the Sixers to win the East as well, and it was because of Embiid. And with him not playing the last 6 out of 8 games in the regular season, you saw fatigue kick in 6 to 7 minutes into that first quarter, and it really hurt their team.
Now let's get to the other controversy, if you will, mini controversy at least, that comes out of this game. The Sixers fans booing their team's performance. Hard to blame them when you consider how badly the team played.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons had a strong reaction to the crowd reaction. Here's what he said.
I mean, if you're going to boo, then stay on that side. So I feel if you're a Sixers fan, you're going to boo, stay on that side.
If you're going to boo, stay on that side. Go ahead.
Look, this is what I'm saying. I love it that they were the lovable guys and they were so bad. But welcome to Philadelphia. This is what the Philadelphia 76ers fans are. If they don't like your intensity the entire time, they will start booing you.
Yeah.
You have more stress there if you're the home team than if you're the road team, if you're not playing well. So hey, look, Ben, this is what Philly's about. They were loving you last year because they were finally in the postseason again. But now they want what they've been promised. And that is high-level basketball and a postseason, stretch. So if you're not doing that, they're going to boo you. Tell me the most important thing is, did you deserve to get booed? That's what he should have said.
And this all comes with expectation. And this team has been good. And like I said, like Richard said, we expect this team to win the East. But my take on this is, does he think it's not another game going to be played in Philadelphia? I don't make this comment after a game 1 knowing we have a game 2 to play and it could go the same way. I'm just not doing that.
I'm willing to accept that frustration after a loss, and maybe you say something that you eventually regret, but we're professionals now.
Yeah.
We should know better than that. And I don't care if it's Philadelphia, which we all know is legendarily tough, or any place. Yeah. Your team plays that badly in game 1 of a playoff series, and you hear it from the crowd, the answer should be, they have a right to be upset with us.
Yeah.
We expect more of ourselves. We'll play better in game 2.
Get this. No one in that arena even knew about PhoneGate. No one in that arena knew about PhoneGate. Imagine when all of those people get home and see that on television. They're going to be like, these guys weren't focused, so it's only going to get worse. These people in the arena only just saw what was going on the court and they booed.
Oh, by the way, game 2 of that series is tonight. There's not a whole lot of time to sit around.
Get it.
I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Sixers have to win this game, right? I mean, they need to win this game. Otherwise, they're going to come back here to Brooklyn, and it is going to be nuts, right?
They have to win this game. And I'm saying, Brett Brown, you have to, if Embiid is healthy, you have to get him the ball every single time down the floor, let him impose his will, and let the other guys fit in around that.
All right, let me wrap up our basketball conversation here with a little eye candy, because here's a little moment that if you didn't see it, I think you're going to enjoy. This is Spurs Nuggets Saturday. Derek White.
I yell, whose baby is that? Somebody get that Paul Millsap baby out the street. I was in Bristol at the DoubleTree, and I was yelling. I was like, wait.
I'm laughing at the fact that you were at the DoubleTree.
I was at the DoubleTree in Bristol, yelling.
Awesome. We have much more on Tiger Woods as we roll forward this morning. Perhaps the greatest comeback we've ever seen. I just heard that we've got a call back from his caddy, Joe LaCava. You saw him there. We'll have him coming up live. And today is the self-imposed deadline of Russell Wilson. Is he leaving Seattle? Answers on the way. Get up, ESPN.